Hi, I went out and bought the lowest priced running shoes in my size I could find, just to get a idea of how big a difference is there really between the latest more expensive running shoes and these. So I found these Turner T Levons at a very low price. Initially, when I saw them on the rack, I was quite impressed by the whole design. Now these are called the Turner T Levon, and they were grey and black. It's the only color they had on in the store, but I think it's quite well designed, I must say, for the price. There's three things that stood out to me about these shoes. The first thing was the uppers that were so well designed. It's quite breathable. They're quite breathable, and I think they might be really comfortable. And then the second thing is the midsole. How thick these midsoles are. You can just see there. It's amazing. And then the third thing is the price. Geez, they're like 10 times, not 7, about 10 times cheaper than the latest, more expensive models. So I'm going to go out and test these, see how they really stand up to these latest models. Although they were designed more for gym and light running, I'm going to put them to the test. I'm going to put a lot of kilometers on them, and then later on I'll get back to you when I'm on about 300 kilometers on these, just to give you a clear feedback and answer about how well they designed and how long they could last. The outsoles, very well designed in my opinion. I don't know how the grip is. The grip's very important when you're running. All the latest, more expensive models have very well designed grip. I don't know how this is going to stand up, but I'll see. I don't know. I'll take it now out for the initial run and get a clear idea of how they actually feel, how do they run, and what type of capabilities they have. Then the inner soles. Well, I call the shoes inner sole. They have a type of memory foam which looks quite comfortable. I think your foot will be very comfortable in these. For how long? I don't know. We'll see. And then if I look at the inners, they're actually very well stitched. I can't see anything wrong with these shoes except where the uppers get connected, or how can I say, built with the midsole. There's a little bit of glue that you can see, but really slight glue. I think if the shoe, as soon as these shoes have been through the washing once, you won't even notice it. But that's really the only thing I can see that's that makes it more so that I can understand the price point. Then another thing is they were built actually very thin. There's no cushioning here at the back. That's another thing. So I think I'll have to use quite thick socks, or maybe more comfortable socks. I think that might be the only thing that might give me trouble, is how thin these heel counters are. Although they've been type of reinforced with a layer on the outside which runs from here to there. Other than that, I think these shoes might do well, considering everything, the price and all these small things that I can see. Okay, then looking at their flexibility, I usually do a test like this with the shoe, see how flexible these are, and they're quite sturdy, I must say. Even here, if I bend it like here, it just bends a little bit down in the front. Nothing here, nothing here. If it doesn't bend at all, only on the forefoot. So I think they might work well. Yes, so I'm gonna take them out for a run. I'll get back to you in a sec. Okay, but before I go out and test them, that makes me think, let me just weigh them quickly and then see how much they actually weigh. Right. Okay, so let's just put them here on the scale. 312 grams. Well, if you think about it, the latest models weigh also about 300 grams. Sometimes they round about 290 grams, which I think is quite light for such a low priced running shoe. Okay, so it's evident that these running shoes don't have the latest, most advanced technology in them, but nevertheless they work well for running, like they say on the box as well, for light running. I've gone out today and I've done about 15 kilometers, so I've put some K's on them now. Okay, so for who are these running shoes best for? I would say for your, on how would they fit in my running shoe rotation? I'd say they'd be best for beginner runners, someone just starting out, not wanting to spend a lot of money on running shoes. And how would they fit in my running shoe rotation? I would say once a week, maybe 5Ks, and on gym days would be perfect as well. So I took them out, did a lot of Ks in them on the first run. I did about 15 kilometers, and then after about 5 kilometers I noticed my one heel rubbing, and yes, that's something you need to look into when you use these shoes. Something you're gonna have to do to stop your heels from rubbing. I don't know what you can do, but I ended up getting a blister. But not too bad. I could keep on running comfortably after that as well, but it is a bother. This is just one aspect of a running shoe's construction. Non-cushioned heel counters might be harder on the heel than a cushioned heel counter, so just be aware that any new shoe first needs to be run in properly to take on your foot shape and assist your foot to stay more comfortable over longer runs, where cushioned heel counters will assist your foot right from the start. Does running shoe technology affect your performance? In my opinion, yes, it does. The push-off that you get from some running shoes are more than others. Okay, so the T Levons have quite a nice push-off. but towards the later parts of my runs, slowly but surely I felt the spring retention getting lesser and I needed to work harder to stay on pace. So eventually I ended up running a bit slower than my normal times. All factors at play, like the heat, my current fitness and so forth. I can't just blame it solely on the shoes, but the shoes do play a big role when going out running and trying to do it at a certain pace. So I would suggest doing some research on the correct running shoe for your needs, even if they cost a little bit more, but eventually end up giving you higher performance and helping you to avoid injuries. So I feel advanced running shoes make it easier to run longer periods at a time at a faster pace. Okay, so my first impressions review on these T Levons. Initially I struggled to get a lock in them. I had to stop a few times and lace up until I finally got my foot nice locked into them. I can suggest maybe buying a size or half a size smaller on these. They got quite a wide cut on them. I think it'll help for durability and stability, but your foot tends to move in them a bit if they're not locked in nicely. I eventually found that out later on when my heel started rubbing here at the back of the collar. They're using some kind of hard weaved material, so just be aware of that on your first runs. You might get some shaving here at the back. There's not much that you can expect on a cheap running shoe like this. I must say they're made for the masses. They're not made for performance. I ran in them average about 5 minutes a K. Going forward, I think I'll use them more for easy runs, once a week, gymming activities, and so forth. If I can just think about another running shoe that I've done about 500 Ks in, for easy day runs, for long runs, I must say these ones are not made for long runs. Rather go and run about 5 kilometers comfortably in them. Just to get back about the other shoe that I was talking about now, I have another running shoe that's done about 500 kilometers in. You can't even really see that they've done about 500 kilometers except here at the bottom. And I've never had a day's trouble in these. They might go to easy day long run shoe. So yeah, just consider spending a little bit more money if you do want to take the running more serious. But if you're just trying to start running and you're not wanting to spend a lot of money and you just want to get into the game and see what it's all about, these T Levons might be the one. Although, like I keep saying, don't go and do long runs in them. They're made for more shorter runs and more your beginner runner, just to get you a more fitter, and later on, if you do decide to go further and enjoy the running game, try and invest on a little bit more of an expensive running shoe, just so that you can avoid injuries, increase your performance. Yeah, getting back to performance, these shoes are not made for performance. They're made more for, comfort. Initially, when I went out with them, I must say they were really comfortable, but only up until about 5 kilometers. Then they started to make me feel that they're not made for long runs. Although like I said, I'll go out and run with them once a week, and I'll get back to you guys in about I guess a month or two, when I've done about 300 kilometers in them, just to give you a final review on these. And yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you've learned something more about running shoes, and see you on the next one.